That was absolutely painfully abysmal. Painfully abysmal. What a game to forget. Like, from both teams, like, absolutely shocking, shocking stuff from two teams. The best performance today was VAR. Yeah, got all of its decisions right, I believe. And yeah, Chelsea was shit. United were even more shit. Maguire offside goal and Cucurella don't really need to do much. It's just you play against a back five, and the more players you have in defence, the more likely you're going to concede a goal. Um, at least that's how it works when you wear the Manchester United shirt. That's what happens. You get five players at the back, you're likely to concede a goal. Put six players in the back, add a little bit more to the odds. Play seven at the back, then add even more to the odds. Like it's just the format of conceding a goal, and especially with the whole far post glitch. And I do believe it is a glitch in Man United's scripture in the universe that you're not allowed to defend far post. Like seriously, we've had the same weakness for about 6 years. About 6 years we've had the same weakness. Yeah, that's got to be a world record, a world record, record-breaking Manchester United conceding the same type of goals for the longest period of time. We can't even say the cutback goals are the most conceded. We can't because those haven't been going on for as long. But the whole play it with the switch of the play to the far post to the danger man, full back or wing back doesn't do their job, or the centre back, and leaves a man completely unmarked. Now, whether they score directly from the player at far post or whether he fires it back in doesn't really matter. The point is that the goal generally comes from that sequence, and it came again today. So Chelsea, to be fair, for a team that's chasing Champions League, I would have expected a whole lot more from them, way way more. So I'm disappointed on their behalf. I'm disappointed for them. Like they should have done a whole heck of a lot better, hands down. But Manchester United, with the team we had today, I would have expected a little more. Like even if I know somebody's going cruising a little bit, like not full speed, I would expect even then, as a first team player, for the team that we've played today, as you can see here, right? As you can see, relatively strong team, right? Relatively strong. Like Lindelof, you could say is a weak spot on Luke Shaw. That team there, maybe Fernandez up somewhere up here. Besides that, no one, no one from that lineup may realistically. I mean, looking at the bench there, nobody else there really, barring Agate, is missing from the midweek lineup in the final. No one's missing, and we put in one of the worst performances of the season, or the most gutless performances of the season. Nobody really cared. So it does beg the question: what the fuck is going to happen on Wednesday? Because if we see the same gutless performance, and I'm very much wary that perhaps they will be completely gutless on Wednesday, regardless of a final. We don't care. We're getting paid. That's all that matters. We're the winners. You, the fans, are the losers. We get paid. We all we have to do is show up, make an appearance, and then fuck it around and then go home. That's kind of what. That's kind of the motive of the modern day professional footballer now. You know, you mess around, get the bag, and then get out of Dodge. And that's what we've seen here. That's what this team is here. Even Onana was up to his usual antics. Lindelof was doing the steady Eddie and then fucked it up second half. Maguire, unfortunate timing on his goal. Um, if it just literally like a nanosecond difference, he probably would have been onside for his goal. Luke Shaw, Rusty, Dorgu, you know, getting skinned defensively. Fernandes not really linking up with his tens well. No, like Casemiro is probably the most decent player on the pitch today. Between Maguire and Casemiro, Hoyland isn't. Hoyland's just a lie. Hoyland was just a lie today. Like if you say his name, you'll be cussed. You'll be cussed out. You said the name of somebody who's dead. They're not alive. They're not real, and that's kind of um, what the premise of Hoyland's performance was. Just non-existent. Doesn't exist. It's a lie. It's just a lie, people. Complete and utter lie. Mount Diallo, they were a waste of time today, and that's not a usual thing to say, especially regarding a player like Amad Diallo. Mason Mount, there's talks transfer-wise that there's more likely chance that Kobe Mainu would get a loan deal to another club ahead of Mason Mount. And it rings to me that, again, perhaps the downplaying of Mason Mount not leaving the club is not generally to do with Amorim saying, I really like Mason Mount, but actually he's the least likely type of player we're going to sell, but I would want him sold. So he's probably curbing the expectation, and that's kind of where we're at. Maybe that's what we are getting, the curbed expectation. Curb your enthusiasm. Don't be excited for the summer, because you will be left with nothing but vile disappointment. Now, Tottenham lost today as well, bearing in mind they rotated, but to be fair, if not for Aston Villa misfiring a few times, they could have lost that game like 5 or 6-0. Like, it was a madness. But apparently Pappas Matasar could have been injured in their game. I don't know what the injury report is on that. We know they don't have Kulusevski, no James Maddison. Aside from that, they've got pretty much everyone available. Even with their rotated team, only 2 goals conceded. They'll probably try and sneak out with a positive from that one. But ultimately, they embarrassed themselves today. We embarrassed ourselves today. The Europa League final is made up of teams that are an absolute disgrace in their league form. It's just by sheer coincidence that both of us have been, very strong in the Europa League. Maybe we could say that's only because Champions League teams can't get relegated into Europa League for the knockout stages. Maybe that's the case. I know that a couple of seasons ago, Barcelona were one of the teams that got relegated to Europa League. We beat them that season, but look at them now. Barcelona, not Champions League final, got knocked out to Inter Milan. Champions League semi-finalists, but just wrapped up the Liga. So, I mean, the old school Europa League would punish teams like us, would punish the Man Uniteds and punish Tottenham Hotspur. And it would probably, I'd like to say that winning the Europa League had a bit more prestige about it. You've got a bit of the air of Champions League there. But now it's just sort of like, well, if you're not in Champions League, you're in the mid-league. And then if you're Conference League, you're basically in the Premier League. If you qualify for the Europa Conference League, it's an automatic win for the Premier League team. Automatic. And if you fail to do that, then you don't deserve to have a football club. You don't deserve it. So, yeah, that's kind of the fate with today's game. Absolute shambles from pretty much all teams today, barring Aston Villa. Aston Villa, um, I believe, are deserved Champions League placement um, with their performance today. Manchester City, with the game in hand, could jump up to second place if actually, can they do that? Maybe not jump to second place. They'll probably have to do it on goal difference. But Arsenal have Newcastle to face. That game comes on Sunday. But Manchester City, if they can catch up to Arsenal, the Champions League qualifications could be decided final day as to which team doesn't qualify for the Champions League. And I'm saying which team. So anybody in those placements could realistically end up not qualifying. Nottingham Forest play West Ham on the Sunday. They need to get 3 points if they are to have any chance at getting into the Champions League, because then after that they play Chelsea. 2 huge games for Nottingham Forest to give their season something, really, really significant. Not to say that it wouldn't be significant getting European competitions, but Europa Conference League or Europa League is not as good as Champions League. So if you get in Champions League, mate, you're chilling. You're chilling. We faced Aston Villa in the last game of the season, so we'll probably throw that one. Just bearing in mind, considering that Aston Villa is a guaranteed loss, right? Don't care if it's at Old Trafford. It's a guaranteed loss. If we don't win the Europa League, this game we will go out with a complete and utter whimper, and it will be the biggest insult to competitive sport in all walks of life, even to the professional golfers, for fuck's sakes. Manchester United's performance against Aston Villa would be in a complete and utter embarrassment. It genuinely would. Like that's because we would have failed the Europa League, and all the stuffing would have been gone. All the stuffing's gone. So, dark days ahead of Manchester United, most prominently. I hope that's not the case. I hope that Wednesday we can, start to turn, fortunes around. But I don't see what fixes we can muster up that change the course of our club and the trajectory that we're heading on. So, yeah, it's a dark time, really, really dark time for United, and it will be unbelievable. It'll probably be the darkest day in recent history for Manchester United Football Club, not barring the confirmation of Ineos's 25% takeover. That was unbelievably dark day, really, really dark day. But anyways, that's my verdict on things. Folks, leave your thoughts about the match, the result, in the comment section. What would you classify as the darkest day for Manchester United in recent history? I'll be interested to see what rival fans believe or what their perspective is on a matter of that nature. And do you guys think it's a Spurs win? or do you guys think it will be a Manchester United win on Wednesday? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm Outskis. I'm going to finish off my pint of antidepressant, and then I'm going to go to bed. Get ready for work on a Saturday, which I think is meant to be a sunny Saturday. And yeah, we'll be back most likely on Sunday for Sunday night takeaway, if that show's going ahead. We never know. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly was meant to happen on the Wednesday, but Taunt was kept back. So yeah, all the best, people. Take care, and we'll see you perhaps on the Sunday, and then the previews for the final either Monday or Tuesday. Take care, people, and we'll catch you in the next one.